Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today we will be featuring a 4-color Elemental Explorer deck. A link to the list is in the description below. I'm going to talk about the general game plan, some of the card choices, and a little bit about the sideboard, then we'll play a couple of matches. So, let's go. This deck is really bizarre, really synergistic, really explosive, and really, really fun. What you're going to do is just kind of ramp out into an Omnath Locus of Creativity or a Ashaya with Risen Reef, get a bunch of lands and a bunch of triggers, and then you're going to get more mana and more lands really, really quickly, and then kill your opponent with Omnath Locus of the Roil in one turn. Now, how do we do that? That's a good question. So, ideally, what you're going to do is if you have a Lotus Cobra on the battlefield and an Ashaya on the battlefield, whenever an elemental enters the battlefield or a land under your control, you get mana. Because all of your creatures now are lands, so they trigger because of Lotus Cobra, because Lotus Cobra sees a land entering the battlefield, and because Ashaya makes them a land, right? And once you have 2 Lotus Cobra on the battlefield and an Ashaya, you're now Lotus Cobras are free, and you're generating a lot of mana each turn. Now, I know this sounds really, really weird, and like really, really specific, but the deck draws you a lot of cards and gets you a lot of mana to the point where you can do that in the same turn very, very, very reliably. So, once you have Lotus Cobra generating you mana and Ashaya, what are you doing now? Well, with Risen Reef on the battlefield, every elemental that enters play can potentially draw you a card, right? If it's a land, it goes directly onto the battlefield that gets you 2 mana. And if it's an elemental, it will, or rather, if it's a non-land, it goes into your hand. And that's usually an elemental or something that you can then cast again to repeat the process. And once you have 2 Risen Reefs on the battlefield, now you're just triggering it often and often, over and over and over again, generating more mana and more cards until you're at a huge surplus of mana. And then you can Omnath your opponent, right? You play it, you deal 10 damage to them because you control 10 elementals, and then you cast another one to kill your opponent in one turn. I know, it's a lot. And don't worry, it will work out. But that's kind of just how the deck is working. And so your deck is, all your cards are gaining mana when you play lands. They're drawing you into more of the combo pieces. And then you have Storm the Festival and Escape to kind of like find everything when you really, really need to. Sometimes you can cast Storm the Festival, and if you find maybe an Ashaya and this Omnath, you can go off that turn. Because this Omnath is also important because it enters the battlefield and it draws you a card. Great. But once you cast your second land in a turn or play a second land in a turn, it generates 4 mana. And this Omnath with Ashaya can very easily generate that mana because now everything is triggering its ability. And you can also very easily deal 4 damage to your opponent, which puts the other Omnath, it makes it have an easier job to kill your opponent. Now, this is all very, very weird, but basically, you're just playing your Lotus Cobra or Leafkin or Growth Spiral turn 2 to hopefully get, maybe an Omnath on turn 3 or a Risen Reef that on turn 3, right? And then turn 4, you can start generating so much value in mana that you're going to overwhelm your opponent. And that really, really complicated board state I was talking about before of the game plan, it happens. And you'll see it in these matches. I promise. I promise. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. And the sideboard's kind of, this deck will lose if your opponent has a lot of interaction, right? And a lot of ways to stop the combo pieces. This is kind of a deck that has a lot of cogwheels going, and it needs every piece of it to like get that forward momentum. And if your opponent has any disruption, this deck can kind of falter. Otherwise, it's just a very, very expensive deck that maybe draws a card a turn. So, against maybe the more combo-oriented decks, you need to add more Escape to the Wilds to give you that card advantage. Against decks that are very, very aggressive, you have more spot removal for that, where you might not have time to set up your combo. And then you also have your graveyard interaction for, that type of thing. And Yasharan for the red-black stack decks. And that's basically it. And the deck is complicated, so let's go play some matches and maybe we can see how it plays out, and it will make sense. So, let's go. Okay, Cannon. So, this is a bad hand because we can't even cast our Lotus Cobra, so we're gonna mulligan. Alright. This is fine. I'm gonna play it like we will draw another land, but maybe we should have brought back the Storm the Festival, but I think we're fine. If we get to 4th mana, we'll be okay. We're gonna name Elemental here. Opponent might have Fatal Push. Maybe. Or maybe our opponent isn't doing anything. Who knows? Okay. Decided not to Fatal Push. I will not complain. Okay. So our opponent is a really, really low to the ground black-red sack deck. We're gonna Omnath, draw a card. Oh, wow. This is great. Fabled Passage with this Omnath and our Lotus Cobra. So we'll be able to play the Fabled Passage, activate it, get another land. And then we get to trigger the Omnath. If our opponent can kill this, that would be bad. Fatal Push? Ouch. Okay. We're gonna add blue. We're not gonna kill that to give them the choice, I think. The good thing here is we get to storm the festival next turn. I mean, they could Lotus Cobra or kill Lotus Cobra. But we're really, really close to getting things in motion. Our opponent's deck has a lot of 1-for-1s until they get Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil's really, really good against us because it can kind of ooze. Now we need a land. Alright, we got there, everyone. Now, let's see the magic work. Omnath and this. Wasn't particularly wonderful. Okay. We're so close to activating the Storm the Festival. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So here is the really, really good spot we're at, though. So we kind of have a lot of our engine going. We have Risen Reef, which now any elemental is going to start drawing us more cards. Lotus Cobra is any land is going to give us more mana. And this Omnath will give us life and mana as we go on. But this Omnath is really, really important here, because from now on, every time we put a land into play, we will draw another card. And that's almost going to be impossible for our opponent to get back from, now that we've reached this point. Alright, here we go. So Ashaya is going to do some work here. Like that. So I think our opponent is going to add maybe more hand interaction here. So I want to do escape. I'm trying to figure out what I want to get rid of, which is interesting. I think Yasharn also seems really, really good here because it's going to stop them from sacrificing everything. And then we'll go down to 2 Ashaya. Maybe... Interesting. What would you do here? This is also one of the hard parts about these types of matchups and decks. When you want to sideboard and you don't want to dilute your deck too much, but you, like, we really want Yasharn in here. I think we really want Escape. We also, if we have Escape, we don't want to go down all this stuff too. Here, maybe we can do that. And maybe we're trying not to kill them in one turn, because they're not a very, very aggressive quick deck. We just want to outvalue them. Maybe that's wrong, though. I maybe should have thought of Claim the Firstborn a little more. Right? As maybe I'm supposed to get rid of the lower drop cards. We don't have white, so we want to do this. I think we want to cast Omnath here. Okay, there's the Yasharn. Oven. Alright. That's really... What's really great about this is we actually get 2 cards here. I feel like most of the time I never get anything with Yasharn. And our opponent didn't like it either. GG. Okay. Jetmir's Garden. Maybe we should have just Fabled Passage in a hope we would have drawn something that we wanted. Oh, so our opponent is Angels. So we get to Omnath here into Fabled Passage into the other Omnath, which is going to be really, really good. That's going to get Giada. So this is going to be an interesting match, because we're both very, very highly synergistic tribal decks, but we also don't have a lot of interaction. Our opponent's deck is much more, I think, linear than ours. So yeah, Skyclave Apparition is probably the only thing they have that can really, really affect our board. And maybe Brutal Cathar post-combat or something that they can find with Coco. But if we can keep our opponent down to a low enough life total where Righteous Valkyrie doesn't pump their board and kill us, I think we'll be able to combo them out in one turn. We need 2 more lands to start drawing off the Omnath, Locus of the Roil. So we need this Coco to not be amazing. It was fine. Free. That can do that. Did not get a land there. Alright, Bishop's gonna start getting... Oh, another Skyclave. Alright, this is what I was saying. Our opponent has a very limited interaction, but got all 3. So now this is not great for us. Yeah. Now we have a lot of really, really good draws that can get us really, really going, but I don't know if we're going to be able to have the time. Right? We need a really good escape to the wilds. GG. Alright. That... I think we're fine here. Maybe we could add in a fry. But honestly, I don't think that's needed. What really hurt us was our opponent getting 3 Skyclave apparitions, which I'm sure was all of their interaction. So I'm just gonna run it back, which is probably wrong, but you know, I'm not here to be right. And hope that that doesn't happen again. And maybe we could have been... Maybe I'm supposed to hold the 1 Omnath in my hand so I can cast it and know I can play my 8th land to draw a card. And maybe that's what I'm supposed to do there, to play around that effect. Having the Storm the Festival is going to be pretty amazing for us. Because if we can start 2-for-1ing our opponent, then we're very, very golden. And next turn we actually get to Storm the Festival. Yeah. We don't care about what they're doing right now. We have so many good draws here, but we didn't. That was a very, very bad Storm the Festival, everyone. Which happens sometimes. It does set us up for a better one next turn. Even the good thing about a bad Storm the Festival is even when it's bad, you're still making it easier to cast the next one because you're usually getting lands, so... There we go. Green and blue. And that adds green, blue. We can activate it, find a land. Then we get a red. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is not the 10 mana, but Omnath here gets to deal 4 damage. Let's kill Giada. Alright, we target an elemental we control, my bad. And then let's kill Giada. And this is the thing, now we're just... every land is gonna draw us cards, right? Give us more mana. do that green. Oh. Red. Now we have an escape. Beautiful. Elemental. Green. Red. And again, what was our board earlier? Nothing. Green, blue, red. And now we get to do this, which is free because of the 3 Lotus Cobras. Green, blue, white. And hopefully we don't run out of time for all of our triggers. So I'm gonna actually have to start being a little quick. Because you only have so many so much time a turn. So, you know, you don't want to mess that up. Green, blue, red. Target elemental you control. Okay. Enters tapped. Oh my god, everyone. Green, green, blue. Green, blue. How much damage is this? Target. Green, green, green. Blue. We don't have many cards left in our library, so I think we have to be careful so we don't deck. And maybe we will. Done. We have one more timeout used. Decline. Green, blue, red. We have this one. There. There. Target our opponent. We went. No! We have them at 1, everyone. No. And we're gonna deck. Oh no. I could have changed. I could have like played another elemental at one point in time, but oh no. What a disaster. But you know what? I hope that showed you how good this deck is. That was fun. Okay, everyone. This time we will not throw the game. Okay? I just wanted to, show some mercy for our opponent for being so kind while we did that. Removal. Ouch. So they are some type of indomitable creativity deck. And now we need a land. Ouch. This is not good at all. They're gonna Shark Typhoon and then Transmogrify. Memory Deluge? Okay. I'm a little hesitant to play out that land there. Glad I didn't attack.
I'm not overconfident. You're just a... May your blade strike true.
Or that Lotus Cobra there, but maybe we shouldn't be afraid of,
I have got new moves to teach you.
our opponent having a board wipe. They have a counterspell? No. Ooh. Alright. This time we will not mess up like we did last time. Green. 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 Blue. White. Green. We do this. We get tons of mana here. Green. White. Blue. I think I just want to make sure. And we could storm the festival, but this is fine. Target that. We'll target our opponent to deal a ton of damage.
I guess that's that.
Faithful Mending. Oh, they're a Faithful Mending deck. Okay. They're Velomachus. Extra turns. So that's what we're fighting against. GG. Oh my god. I think we want Mystical Dispute, maybe, but I'm not even sure. Maybe Aether Gust? I'm assuming they're gonna put stuff in. And we have to be very, very quick, right? Do we? I don't know. Help. Okay. This is fantastic. I think. Lotus Cobra, they have Faithful Mending. So they're probably going to reanimate the Velomachus, or they have Invoke there. Okay. Yeah, we'll put it on top, I think, right? And just hope our opponent doesn't go off this turn. So we need to add green for that to do something, right? So our opponent wants to cast or reanimate Velomachus to keep on just doing a lot of really, really powerful stuff in one turn. Like, maybe take infinite turns. So they're kind of a combo deck. We just have to hope that they don't get their combo anytime soon. And now we have to decide. I think we just go for one Storm the Festival here. They have a Memory Deluge? Okay. So now this is tapping our opponent out. And I think we can potentially win. Here. And our opponent decided that as well. Thank you for watching me play some Elementals in Explorer. The deck did get to do its thing. Whether or not I won or lost after it got to do its thing, does it really matter? I don't think so. You play this deck because you want to do a lot of absurd things in one single turn, and winning or losing, that's not part of the fun. You just want to overwhelm your opponent and make them cry. And I like doing that. So yeah, I would recommend it if you like this type of really explosive, synergistic, really, really cool, infinite trigger deck. It's great. I love it. And yeah, and I hope you at least enjoyed something and maybe learned a thing or two. Who knows? But with all that being said, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, or subscribe. That's a great way to support me. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. And yeah, I hope you are having a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Bye.